Welcome to the Margins to Movies podcast, where we talk books, movies, and everything in between. We're your hosts, your favorite internet bookworms. I'm Della.
And I'm Nita Key. And before we get into today's topic, please know that we do accept tithes and offerings over here in the forms of likes, hypes, subscriptions, okay, follows, and it's all free, okay? So show your girl some love.
Yes, absolutely. Please show us some love. So, we are gathered here today to review The Devil Wears Prada 2. So please note, we will be discussing spoilers. So if you want to see the movie first, we recommend that you go watch the movie, then you come on back over here and you check us out and hear what we thought about it as well. All right? So Nita, you want to go ahead and get started and give us a synopsis of what went on with this movie, girl? Tell me a little bit about it.
So first of all, before I get into this summary of The Devil Wears Prada 2, like Della said, there will be spoilers. So if you're planning to see it, don't blame me if you stay on this live and engage in the discussion. Okay, you're gonna just get the spoilers because we're talking about everything from the rooter to the tutor. We recently reviewed The Devil Wears Prada 1. We did a book to a movie review, okay? We did a deep dive on the characters. So if you have not seen that, make sure you check that out on our YouTube channel, Margins to Movies, okay? Make sure you check that out. All right, now, The Devil Wears Prada 2 actually picks up about 20 years post the first Devil Wears Prada. And when we get into this movie, child, everything is going bad. Everybody's having a horrible, no good day. All right. So we get Andy. She's older, seems to be more mature, and she is at this function for journalists. She's looking like a serious journalist and whatnot. And so they're having some type of banquet, and she is being announced to receive an award. And then right as she's being announced, everybody at her table getting a text message. So we like, what's going on around here? Okay, the suspense was on 10. We were like, why is everyone getting a text? Okay, somebody news leaked. We don't know what's going on. So then Andy wins the award. She goes to accept it, and she tells the people that they just got laid off via text message. Okay, so now everyone who's watching that broadcast knows, right? Then we go over to Sister Miranda Priestley. Miranda Priestley is at a celebrity event. All the people there, child, all the people gathered and preening for the cameras. Everybody over there starts getting messages. Come to find out that Miranda just featured in Runway magazine, some clothing company that operated a sweatshop. Okay, so people like, where is she? Okay, she's horrible. And so she's just like, oh my God, this is horrible timing, because she's up for a global position with, I believe, the Elias Clark company. So now, out of nowhere, Andy gets a call from Elias Clark, and they said, girl, we heard you don't have a job. Okay, why don't you come back here to Runway magazine to work for us? We're having a PR crisis. You're a serious journalist, so you can bring some of your journalistic integrity to our fashion magazine. So she ends up going back to Runway, and we have this moment where she and Miranda meet again after all these years. Miranda asking Nigel, who is this? Okay, and he's like, oh, she's one of the Emily. She was your assistant. So she was like, child, I guess Miranda either pretending like she don't know her, or maybe she really forgot her. Who knows?
I know she pretended.
Yeah, she was pretending like she didn't know who Andy was, right? So Andy like, girl, I'm here to save your magazine. Miranda like, okay, girl. So they're on their way to Dior to have a meeting with who, child? Who is at Dior but Emily? So Emily has clout. She's over there running stuff at Dior. And since Runway is having that PR crisis, she's going to take advantage of the situation and get some more ad space. They're like, okay, Emily drives a hard bargain, but they are kind of in a rough spot. So they accept Emily's offer to give her more ad space, right? On the way back to the office, Miranda rears her head and she tells Andy, girl, who you came to save? No, you didn't ride in on the white horse and think I need you. She was like, you will fail. Okay, and you don't even get in this car. Don't get in this black car. You go ahead and take the train or the bus, some Uber or whatever you need to do to get back to the office. You do that. So Andy goes to the office and finds out that Miranda gave her a little cubby hole with all type of trash in it, honey. So this is your office. You be over here in the corner, not bothering me. So Andy's trying to figure out, what can I do to gain Miranda's respect, child? Here we go again with this, okay?
Yeah.
So Andy's like, you know what? I'm gonna write a hard-hitting article, right? For Runway, online article. She writes the article. She's proud of it. It's good. She goes to the little staff meeting. Miranda talking to the people. Andy cut in. She like, hey, I wrote a good hard-hitting article. And Miranda said, how many people read it? Say nobody read that article, girl. Don't you be in here interrupting these meetings. Still about want to hear you preening about articles ain't nobody read, and moving on. So then Andy was sat there, you know, with her face dropped, okay? And then she goes complaining, Nigel, what do I need to do? Blah, blah, blah. So she decides, you know what I need to do is get an interview with this lady named Sasha Barnes. Sasha Barnes recently divorced like a billionaire tech mogul. She has all this money. Yeah. Miranda has been trying to get an interview with her, and she has not been able to. So she said, I'm going to land this interview. So she put all of her skills to use that she learned while working with Miranda. And as a journalist, she's making all these phone calls and connections. And she tells Miranda she has a lead before she actually has a lead, right? But she works her magic. She gets an interview. Miranda comes along and they're interviewing Sasha Barnes. It's really, really good for Runway magazine. And so we have Miranda starting to respect her a little bit more. And then Miranda is up for the position like the global ambassador or whatever position again. So she is in a situation where they're about to announce her, and they just have to go to the president of Elias Clark's little birthday soiree. Okay, child, they put their clothes on there at the birthday soiree, and what should happen but the man dropped dead. Okay, he just dropped dead. The people like, oh no, okay, oh horrible, this is horrible and tragic. So, child, and then of course Miranda, you know, how's she gonna get her new position, her elevated status with this man dead? So they go to the little funeral. Everybody, you know, have on their best, honey. They're Dior. They're, you know how they show up at the funeral when you're in the fashion.
They're Prada.
Yeah, they Prada, honey. They black Prada. They look good. Okay, they was looking good. So enters his son. His son, he's like, child, we're going to restructure. We're going to redo things. We're going to downsize. Miranda's kind of on mute. She's like, okay, all right. So he brings in a team of people, you know, to come and tell Miranda what they need to do. And then Andy's listening, or she has a spy who helps her listen. And she's like, why isn't Miranda pushing back? She's not saying anything. She's just sitting there. So Andy gets it in her head that I'm going to help the magazine out because Emily has a rich boyfriend. And she's like, you know what? Let me see if he can buy the magazine so that Miranda can still run it and we can still operate the way we want to operate, right? So when they go to Fashion Week in Italy, she's meeting with Emily. She's meeting with the boyfriend. They're plotting and scheming. And the boyfriend says, you know what? I'm going to buy Runway magazine. Okay, I can do that. Now, Miranda knows something's going on. Nigel knows something is going on with Andy. She's kind of sneaking off and stuff. So they like, okay, girl, we watching you. So Andy like, I want them watching me in such a way. Okay, so Andy was like, let me come clean. She gets Emily. She says, look, let's talk to Miranda and let her know what we're doing. Let's bring her into this. So they go to tell Miranda, hey, you know, Emily's boo is going to buy this magazine for us. And Miranda's like, Emily not buying that magazine for me. And the magazine for herself. Andy's like, Emily, you would never. And Emily like, ha, 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? So Emily got her little supervillain laugh on, honey. And she said, you know what? You are old, Miranda, and I am young and fresh. I'm a spring chicken, honey. So I am going to take over this magazine and put you out the pasture. Okay? So Andy's like, oh, no. Shocking all, child. Emily is a villain. She's a Marvel supervillain and whatnot. So Andy feels bad because she made the situation happen. And then Miranda's trying to consider the time for me to move on. But she decides, no, it's not time for me to move on. And she and Andy work together to get someone to not only buy Runway magazine, but to buy Elias Clark, okay? Call Sasha Barnes. And they say, hey, girl, we need a favor. And Sasha Barnes swooped in, saved the day. She bought Elias Clark. So Miranda gets to keep her job. Later, Emily Emily and Andy got together for a little brunch or something. They decide they'll be friends. So it seems like Emily's sorry for what she did. And then at the end of the movie, we have Nigel, who's still there. Miranda is still there. And then now, with the office next to both of them, is Andy. She's going to stay on that runway, and she brings an article to Miranda to proof. And Miranda is kind of looking at her like, girl, I don't have nothing to say to you. But she laughs at the article and smiles.
Yeah.
And we see they do have a good working relationship.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, that is The Devil Wears Prada 2.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened, child. So first we're going to start with our reactions. Della, I want like your first and strongest reaction watching the movie. Tell the people.
My first reaction was, well, I don't know. It was a lot softer than the first, the first movie. I love the fact that Miranda came back. Meryl Streep came back as Miranda. I love the fact that Anne Hathaway came back as Andy. I like Nigel coming back. Emily, I like that they brought all the characters back. So that was a good thing. I liked all the fashion. I think everything seemed a whole lot softer in this movie. And it just didn't, first reaction was it just wasn't as iconic as the first movie. So, and I know maybe because it is 20 years later, and you know how most of the time the second book or the second movie, they just don't always live up to the first one. So that was kind of my first reaction, was like, oh, okay, I see where we're going with this. And I see that things are a little bit different. Miranda's a little different. Andy's a lot better. So that was kind of like my first reaction. What about you?
Child, my first reaction was, what is the point? Who asked for this? Why am I here? Della B, I don't try to come on these people internet and cut up in such a way.
I know.
These people be having me down to the theater and I'm reviewing things and I want to get my money's worth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want a good time at the theater. And my
Right.
strongest reaction watching was, who asked for this? Who asked for this?
Just leave it alone. You should just let it alone.
Devil Wears Prada was good.
Just leave it alone.
Fantastic. Why did we need to remake this? Did people need money? You know what I'm saying? Who needed this money?
But that's a good question. Why did they remake it? I mean, why? What was the point? I mean, the way it ended the last time was fine.
Yeah, it's a sequel, but to me, there's nowhere for this story to go. Now, that being said, we did not read the book, The Devil Wears Prada 2 book. I'm not sure what the title is of that book.
I think it's called The Revenge of Prada or something.
Okay, yeah, because I read that the actual movie just strays away from that book so much, there's no reason to even do a book to movie review. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's correct.
So, child, we didn't even do the book to movie review, but I'm telling y'all right now, I'm over Hollywood. I'm just telling y'all, like, real talk. Where is the originality? Where is it? Everything seems to be a remake. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand if it's a remake or if it's a sequel and it's adding value to the original story.
Right.
Okay. To me, this did not add value to the original story. To me, this diluted the brand of The Devil Wears Prada. And sometimes you just got to leave well enough alone. You just got to know when to quit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? You're right. Yeah. Because I think about some good movies that did have a number 2 and got better and better. I mean, I don't know how many people like The Lord of the Rings, but I was a big Lord of the Rings fan, and it got better and better.
Yes, Frodo, honey. Girl, don't get me started on Frodo. I love me some Frodo.
But it got better. So it made sense why they were doing more. But I agree with you. What was the point in a part 2? It didn't bring any more value to anything.
It didn't. It was a story that was told that did not need to be told. Okay? It just didn't. And you can see, like, with the writing, okay, so it wasn't a situation where it was like, oh, there is a story here to tell. We do need to tell it. It seems like, you know what? This movie made a lot of money. It's a classic. It did well. Let's go ahead and make a sequel. You know what I'm saying? To just, try to ride the coattails of the first movie. I didn't feel like it was story led because the story to me did not need to be told. The story was boring. Child, when that little man dropped dead, I was like, oh, good, some action.
Well, you know what I think? I think that they just wanted to show, because in the original,
Mhm.
obviously, The Devil Wears Prada, Miranda had a lot of power. She was
Yeah,
very powerful in the industry, everybody, like, if she walked by, everybody ran and scurried away. Well,
yeah.
I wonder if they wanted to show that time has gone on and she's not as powerful as she once was. So she's lost a lot of that power. I mean, maybe that's what they wanted to show us. I don't know
Well,
why,
why
but I guess
I mean, why do we even need to know that? You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying, I don't know why, but
We don't
yeah.
need and speaking of Miranda, since we got on Miranda, okay, that was another reaction I had. I had a very Harpo, who this woman? Who is this
Oh,
woman? Okay, this is not Miranda Priestley.
yeah,
This is not the iconic Miranda Priestley. Okay,
yeah,
Meryl Streep was there. I was like, oh, that's Meryl Streep. I know her. You know what I'm saying? She
yeah.
looks good and all, but she just, you know what? I felt like she was spayed and neutered. You know what I'm saying? It was a very watered down version of Miranda Priestley. I'm sorry. Am I lying? You were
No,
there?
you're not. You're not. You're
It was
exactly right. She
very
was
watered down,
yeah,
and I felt like they were trying to modernize the character, and I think they were also trying to grow her as a character, and
and the other thing
I
was,
just got over it.
you remember her assistant? So I guess something must have happened along the way to maybe soften her up. And so
Mm,
then that's what they were trying to show. But remember her assistant that she had, who was the character who played in the Bridgerton series? I can't
yeah,
remember what her name. Remember when Miranda was at the meetings and she would say some things and her assistant would say, no, no, you can't say that. You can't say that.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
guess maybe she was trying to show her that times have changed. You can't be as cruel as you used to be in the past. There's things
mhm.
you can't do anymore. So she was kind of like keeping her in check so that she didn't do something where HR had come after her or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it was clear that she had been taught a lesson by HR and by the movements that have taken place, because the
Yeah.
assistant even said, girl, she used to throw her coat on people's desks. You know what I'm saying? They like,
I
she
know.
can't do that anymore. That was a cute scene when she was struggling to hang up her little fur coat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was kind of cute. But to me, the cute moments were few and far between. That might be the
Yeah.
only one. Yeah, I don't remember another cute moment. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I mean, so how do you, because I was thinking about that. I was like, well, how do you modernize the movie and grow up these characters in an interesting way? And
Or-
I'm thinking it's just you have to have a good story to tell. You just have to tell a good story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if 20 years later is just too long.
Mm-hmm.
I because fashion changes fast. We
Mm-hmm.
all know that. And again, back then, the book was such an important thing in the movie where now it's all digital. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if 20 years, it was such a long period of time. It was too drastic of the
Mm-hmm.
things that have changed over that period of time for it to
Yeah.
really be meaningful with the story. I mean, maybe if they would have made it 5 years later, it would have been a little different. I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? They wouldn't have made it 5 years later because there was no story to tell. There, there is no subject matter for a
Right.
sequel.
You're right.
There
I
was
don't I wonder
none.
where they coulda went with it. What could they have done? I don't know. Anybody
Nothing.
have any ideas? What
Nothing.
could they
What they
have done?
did was not because okay, this is a story they're telling. First of all, wait, is Anna Wintour still at Vogue? Is she still
I don't
there?
know.
It wouldn't have come out 5 years later because there was no story to tell. I mean, the first story pretty much wrapped things up pretty well. Andy left Runway. She went to do the serious journalism she felt like she was meant to do. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. I mean, I just was okay, so wait, because you were asking the question, how long Miranda been there? That's why I was like, is Anna Wintour still the editor in chief over at Vogue? Because she has still been in that same position 20 years later.
20 years. That's
Is that true?
unreal. Huh?
Someone really be in that position that long? Like
That's why I
realistically?
said that's unreal. That especially in corporate America. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
know she was very, very, very powerful, but even in the first movie, they were trying to get rid of her. They almost got rid of her, but then she just had, so much clout that they couldn't do it. But I
Yeah.
mean, 20 years later in the same role, her power was a little bit muted, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
just seems a little unrealistic. Okay, so let's get into our hits and misses. You want to start with your hits for the movie?
Okay, so One of my first hits was again what I said earlier, in the fact that they did bring back Meryl Streep, they brought back Anne Hathaway, they brought back Emily Blunt, they Stanley Tucci. So all of those were main characters in the first movie. So they
Yeah.
brought all of them back. So I like the fact that they brought them back so we wouldn't be reintroduced to a whole bunch of new people, which there were
Yeah.
some new people in it, but these were still the main characters. So I did like that.
Okay.
Andy is more confident in herself. She's more
Oh,
experienced. She feels like she can deal with Miranda on a better level now because she has that confidence in herself because she's been successful in her career. Let's see what else was positive. The fashion was still good. I still like some of the
fashion was
fashion.
good.
Yeah, that was still really good. So I like that part of it.
Fashion. I was like, my favorite. There was a scene where Andy telling Miranda about something that had happened earlier that day, and Miranda was like, "Okay, girl, but are you gonna wear that tonight?" And child, they came back and they had on a child. It was like a suspenders. It
Yeah,
was like a dress, but it had like
it
the
was so
diamond suspenders. And the suspenders came down, and it was like this was like mesh here, so it was like a see-through top. And then the
yes.
suspenders like covered, nipples and all that.
It was
But
really cute.
ooh, I
That was
said,
very
girl,
cute.
if you don't get out of here with that outfit on, she
Yeah,
looks so good.
she looked
She
really
looked,
cute.
and that was one of my hits too. Everybody looked good.
Everybody
Okay,
looked good.
Hathaway looks good. Meryl Streep looks good.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt, everybody looked good,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
that was the fashion and the actors looking good. Yeah. So you had any other hits?
I think those were pretty much my only wins that I can think
Yeah.
of. I did also like the fact that they brought in Lucy Liu, and even though her character was very minute, I like the fact that she was a powerful female.
Yeah.
So, and she showed them that, hey, I'm still powerful and I can do this. And she just basically just went behind everybody and boop, swooped in and saved the day. So I did like her character, even though it was a very, very small part.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any more hits. I don't know what to tell you. I guess nostalgia of like,
Yeah.
seeing these characters again,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I don't have any more hits. Oh, let's go to my misses, okay? Uh, I felt that the storyline was very weak. Yeah, it was just weak. I mean, I feel like realistically, Andy did not have a positive experience at Runway. She quit. In the
Mhm.
book and the movie, she walked away.
Mhm.
And she almost lost her mind over there with them people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, I don't see a world where she would be, desperate enough to go back because if
Yeah.
she's an award-winning journalist, I mean, there should be lots of places she could work. She should have lots of opportunities because she just won an award for her serious journalism. And if she wants to be a serious journalist, I don't see that happening at Runway magazine.
Yeah, but remember the owner, Elias Clark, told her that first of all, he like doubled her salary. So that was the thing. And then he told her she could bring in her own team. So he told her it would be serious writing. And I think that was the only reason why she took it, is because he told her
Okay.
it was going to be serious writing.
All right, so she could bring in her own team and they
Yeah.
doubled her salary. Okay. You brought in your own team and doubled the salary for a serious writer at Vogue.
Stop it, Nita.
Runway, runway magazine Vogue. You know what I'm saying? And child, I don't know, whatever. The writing wasn't great. I mean, then they had a
Yeah.
romance subplot. So I was thinking, what is missing from this film? I thought about the first one. I said, oh, she had a relationship with Nate. That was pretty good. They helped to drive the story, that subplot. And so they finally added the subplot. They gave her a romantic interest. Who was that man?
Girl, I forgot she even had one. I had to go back and
Who
say,
was that
did she?
guy?
Did she? Somebody, Peter or something. I don't remember what his name was. I was like, I don't even remember him.
Don't have time for this. He was some actor or something. Y'all, I don't know who the
He was
man
an
was.
actor.
Yeah,
I don't even remember him.
to me, they didn't have a lot of chemistry. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
felt like the subplot was underdeveloped. So of
Yeah.
course they got together, then they had their little conflict, you know what I'm saying, where they, took a little break from each other. She was being real like rude and nasty, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't if I
Yeah.
was talk to her anymore. But anyway, so then at the end, she comes to his door, honey, and she have her little speech. The way we met wasn't perfect, and the ending wasn't perfect, but we can
Oh,
have.
that guy. Now I
Hey,
remember. I had to think about who he was.
stop! This is not my monologue.
Girl, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
hey,
I had to
Della, calm down. Let
I
me
had
do
to think of who he was. I couldn't remember. I had to
this.
think
Is
about who
my
was this guy.
monologue. Della, me,
Girl,
please,
go on with your monologue.
Della, please, it's needed. Okay, so she at the door, y'all. She said, the way we started wasn't perfect. The way we ended wasn't perfect. But we could have an imperfect relationship together. Girl, really? You thought that relationship was worthy of a monologue? I
Girl,
did
he
not care.
he wasn't an actor. You said an actor, so he wasn't an actor.
He's an actor. I'm trying to think what's the name of the actor.
I thought you were saying he was an actor in the movie.
He was a developer. He was a real
Yeah,
estate
developer.
money.
Yeah,
He built
okay.
a little apartment or whatever.
Okay.
I'm just see Della B didn't even remember the man from the
I
movie.
didn't.
What would she do without me? Okay,
I
yeah,
know. I did not. I was like, who was it?
that's what I'm saying. The story, the romance plot was very underdeveloped.
Yeah.
And we didn't see enough of them to care. She to me in real life, I feel like she wouldn't date him.
No.
They didn't
No.
look good together. No,
No. No. I agree. I agree. I
uh,
agree.
well, nothing wrong with that man. You know what I'm saying? He was fine, but look, they could have gotten a little eye candy. Anne Hathaway, she looked good.
Yeah.
Give her a little eye
Yeah.
candy so we can look at. For the
Yeah.
people. Yeah, I don't know what these people doing. Girl, I don't even know what to say. I mean, you're ready for the rating. I'm just, y'all.
I
I'm so
but you know what? That was one of my losses too, is that the some of the
sorry.
other characters were way underdeveloped, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why
I
are they here?
didn't
And why did they have so many characters?
I know, then they had the son,
Hey,
right, the son of Elias Clark, he was boring as heck. It was like, you
yeah,
couldn't
he
get
was
somebody
supposed to
more
be like a
interesting?
villain or something. But look at all the celebrity cameos. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all celebrities, uh, the Devil Wears Prada had a nice little run. Y'all want to run in and y'all want to be a part of the sequel. You want to be seen in your cute little clothes. Way too many celebrity cameos. Way
Mhm.
too many. It was like 100. You know what I'm saying? Who was Emily still with? Was that Donatella Versace?
Yes. Yes.
Child,
Don't start. Do not start.
we're gonna ignore the elephant in the room.
Do not.
We're not gonna talk about the elephant.
We are
Who
not.
told her to be in the movie? Who invited her in the movie? And then gonna tell me I can't talk about it.
No.
Who invited her down to the movie? And nobody gonna tell her. What if ain't nobody in life told her? And you gonna want me to say nothing? She not gonna see this.
It might be a health problem, you know?
No.
Who knows? Might be a health problem.
Baby, it's a whole lot of surgery, okay? It's a whole lot of surgery. And I'm sitting there, they got this woman in this movie looking such a way. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow.
Oh my goodness.
It was like Cameo. I saw Sierra.
You saw Sierra? I didn't see Sierra.
Sarah was in there. That first scene when Miranda came out and then everyone was getting a text message about the sweatshop situation.
Uh-huh.
So a whole bunch of celebrities, like, just in the background and walking around. Lady Gaga, don't get Lady
Mm.
Gaga was in it. She had a little stale scene with Miranda. No one cares.
And
And
it
then
was
I don't have
like,
nothing against Lady Gaga. And then she did that song, child.
yeah,
What you
yeah.
thought about that song?
What song? I remember she sang, I love Lady Gaga. I am a huge Lady
Her.
Gaga fan, but
Oh my
I didn't even like the dialogue with her.
It was
And
so dumb.
it was
It
dumb,
was
and it was
so
just it was
reductive.
over the top rude for no
It
reason.
was no, it was just I'm telling you, people just wanted to be in this movie, right?
Yeah,
Because of the place that it holds, in culture. But my
yeah,
God, today, who wrote this?
yeah.
Yeah, look, all right, look, okay, I don't know.
You know who else I didn't like? Now, I liked Emily better in the first movie. I
Emily
didn't
Blunt,
like her. I love Emily Blunt, but I didn't like her character, the fact that she was a backstabbing like that. I
yeah,
was like, I just didn't like that. It was just and then she was like, "You know who could be on the cover of the new magazine?" Her
me,
husband didn't even know, her fiance didn't even know you. She was talking about herself. He finally said,
so
"Oh, you know." So it just, I didn't like her backstabbing character. I didn't like that. In the end, she did become friends with Andy. That was
yeah,
cool,
they did
and
become
she ended up
friends.
working at Coach instead of Dior. But
She did.
I didn't like
Yeah.
her character either.
I just feel like a highlight of the film was Andy with that cute little suspender dress on. And a highlight, a highlight of the film, that man just dropped dead out of nowhere. Okay, so I don't even know what else to say.
No, the highlight of the film, which they
Okay,
didn't, which is
okay.
really a behind the scenes story, was
Mhm.
when Lucy Liu bought that company behind, Emily's and her fiance. That was a highlight to me, but
Okay.
it was just behind the scenes. We didn't even see
How it
how
happened?
we didn't even see what happened, how the conversation started. We didn't see how it ended. We didn't see
Well,
none of
it
the
was supposed to be
conversation.
a plot twist. So what they did was they had Miranda who said, "I'm gonna go to this event," and then Andy was just on the phone for a long time. And then that's what I'm saying. We talking about building suspense. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? The suspense was not built. Andy was just on the phone, and then all of a sudden, boom.
yeah,
Okay, Lucy
yeah,
Lou's is gonna buy it, and that's it. There was not a lot of
yeah,
tension. And
yeah,
honestly, this is my thing. The stakes were not that high to me anyway, because I didn't care if Miranda got a job as a global ambassador. I didn't care if those people came in and restructured. I did not care. Like,
yeah,
there was no tension or suspense. The first film was really, really good because Andy is trying to survive in this world where she's like an
yeah,
outsider, an outcast. And Miranda was just horrible, right?
yeah.
But she was horrible in a way where she was still likable and iconic.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So,
Absolutely right.
and like I said, they just spayed and neutered that character for this current movie. She was so different. I'm telling y'all
Yeah,
right now.
she was.
If anyone saw it, you wanna say something, let me know, child, but I feel like I was just like, "Where's Miranda? Like, who is this lady?"
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep was there. You're not gonna say anything bad about Meryl Streep, okay?
Oh yeah.
But I was just like, I'm just blaming the writing, honey. I'm just blaming the writing.
I
The only one.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the original movie had a cleaner story. It had a good plot, you know?
yeah, it had a
Yeah,
more engaging story because
yeah,
we wanted to see what's gonna happen. How bad is her life gonna get? When is she
yeah,
gonna stand up for herself? Is
mhm.
Miranda gonna change? We had all these questions that I just didn't have on the sequel. But you know what? Go watch the sequel. Knock yourself out. And then if you like it, go ahead and let us know. Are you
Yeah.
ready to rate the movie, Della?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Okay. I'm very curious. Okay, Della, what are you giving The Devil Wears Prada to?
I would give The Devil Wears Prada to I wouldn't even give it a 3. So
Uh,
I give it like a 2 out of 5. I have to agree with Nita here. It didn't have a good plot. It was just uninteresting. It was like, why? Why? I mean, I don't know. I was just sitting there like, I don't know. It just never drew me into the story at all.
yeah.
Nothing ever drew me
Yeah.
into it, made me wonder, get excited about anything that was going on. I wish they would have expanded on Lucy Liu's character maybe a little bit. Maybe that would have helped. I don't know. I don't know, but it was just flat. That's just my opinion. Your opinion
Mhm.
might be different if you
Allegedly.
guys seen it, but that's just my opinion. What
And
about you,
this
Nita?
opinion allegedly. So for me, y'all, I'm gonna give The Devil Wears Prada to baby, stop at Five Below and get some cheap snacks on the way to the theater. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to that theater and spend your money after you just wasted your money on that ticket. I'm sorry. I can see people liking it for the nostalgia, for the actors just seeing them again, but
Yeah.
I'm there for a story, right?
Yeah.
I am there because I want to be transported into the wonderful world of escapism that was
Yes.
this movie. They had the fashion. I mean, the fashion was fashioning,
Mhm.
but
Alicia Keys.
Young performer, good writer, producer.
Taylor Swift.
Okay, great gowns, beautiful gowns.
I'm not really here just for the fashion, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And y'all, Miranda Priestley is no more. I
No.
know she was, horrible and mean, but honey, let her be horrible and mean, honey.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
It
I'm
was
like,
entertaining.
maybe that's the problem with this movie. Because it's like, who's the antagonist? Because in the first movie, Miranda Priestley, she was the devil.
Absolutely.
Was the antagonist. In this movie, it's called The Devil Wears Prada 2, but who's the devil?
Who's the
You trying to
devil?
make Emily the devil? No, Emily wasn't a good devil. The little guy who came in was going to take over the company.
Oh.
Was he supposed to be the devil?
He was boring.
Who cares?
He was not
he was
interesting.
an interesting character,
He was flat. Nothing.
Yeah, there was no devil in The Devil Wears Prada 2. Yeah.
You're
That was the
right.
problem. I solved it. Yeah, that's it. That's what's wrong with it.
You solved it. That's exactly right.
Yeah, who's the antagonist? I don't know. The antagonists are not interesting. Okay.
You're right.
Miranda was a love to hate character in The
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada, the first one. There was no love to hate character in The Devil Wears
Yeah.
Prada 2.
Because I just didn't like Emily at all. It wasn't a love to hate relationship with her. I don't like backstabbing people like that. I just didn't like it.
Well, she could have backstabbed in an interesting way. I feel like for what she had to work with, the written material, for me, she was probably the best actress in this movie, which is not saying a lot.
Mhm.
But for what she had to work with, she was bringing something. It just was not very compelling, right? As an actress, I can see what people just trying to get their dollar, trying to get their money. All right, so Della, you have anything else for the people?
No, I don't have anything else for the people, but we definitely do not need a Devil Wears Prada 3.
Don't you come around here talking about no Devil Wears Prada 3. Okay, don't
But you know what? I highly suggest that those of you who are watching us here with the review of Devil Wears Prada 2, you go back and watch our review of The Devil Wears Prada versus the book The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes,
So
our rating was very different.
Yeah, we had a different take on that. So I highly encourage you to go back and watch that review.
And I'm so
That's
glad.
all I got, Nita. I don't have nothing else.
Yeah, I'm so glad we posted the review first because you can see we are not hating. You know what I'm saying? Go check out their review. All right, now that is all the show we have for you tonight. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on our live. Thank you so much for supporting our channel, Margins to Movies. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like and hype and subscribe. If you're watching us on TikTok, please like this live, okay? And please follow Margins to Movies if you are not following us. We are also on Instagram now, okay? We out here, okay? So go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Also, on TikTok, go and follow Della B. Don't you want to see Della B's beautiful face on these TikTok videos and not just hear her voice? So go ahead and follow Della B on TikTok and show her some love, okay?
So until next time, we will meet you
between the margins and the movies.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Take care.